Hey everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. I'm Josh, SalvationsElite. To my right is Sam, BashBO3 on Twitter, and joining us online on the interwebs as usual is Rex, ShadyNero on Twitter as well. He's right here between us. And man, we are back to talk another week of Call of Duty Esports. A lot going on, a lot of changes, and obviously you guys can tell from the title, man. Big changes to the format for the Call of Duty League this year, and we're doing a draft of drafting the best dynasty roster for Call of Duty moving forward. So it should be a pretty exciting episode. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing phenomenal, Josh. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, dude. Pretty great.
That's great.
Fantastic, actually.
Oh man.
Yeah. How you doing, Sam?
Doing great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
Oh,
It's always a good one.
it is always a good one.
This one will be good as well.
That is 100% true. So, again, you guys can find us on Twitter. Of course, we really appreciate you guys connecting, as always. And, we're trying to stay active on there and reply to you guys. And any questions you guys have, hit us up on Twitter. SalvationsElite, BashBO3, so you guys are seeing if you guys are watching on YouTube, and ShadyNero. And, if you guys are on iTunes, drop a rating and review. We really do appreciate that. It means a lot to us. Helps the podcast out a ton. It's available on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts if you guys are watching on YouTube as well. So, with that said, we guess we can get right into it. And the first topic and the first segment of the day is we're going right into it with the new tournament formatting.
Tournaments.
They dropped the bomb on us. Finally, they listened to the feedback and changed how the whole season was formatted, at least from what we know. And so we're going to talk about all of it. What do you guys think about it so far?
I'm not sure. Personally, I liked how they had it before, but I can see why this will be good.
Interesting.
I do think this will make it more interesting, but I don't know how they're gonna do the playoffs at the end.
Yeah, it's still a little muddy.
That's my concern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess for those of you who may not know what the announcement was, is they announced that they're adding in a tournament format into the homestand events. And so before, what it was is that every event would be just your average league matches. So there'd be 8 teams attending, and they'd play against each other and each team played a random amount of games, between 1 and 3 matches on the weekend.
Yeah. And
then each team throughout the whole season would play a total of 20 games, and then they'd be seeded based on their record.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it sounds like they said that they're turning each event or each homestand into an 8-team tournament-style event. But we don't really know exactly how that plays out yet. And so that's why it's still a little muddy, but I think it's worth talking about because it literally completely changes how the season's going to potentially play out.
I think one of the benefits that you're seeing right away is just the positive feedback from all of the fans, right? Like
Literally.
You saw on Twitter just everyone just being hyped about it, even though when you went into the link, they just used the word tournament format. Not really quite sure how it looks like.
So broad.
Right? But it does harken back to what we've know and loved from Call of Duty is the tournament, is the open, is tournament style where you get those people coming back from loser bracket runs and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was definitely like a breath of fresh air, a sigh of relief almost that finally we got some feedback from Activision and from the Call of Duty League. Like, hey, we heard your guys' complaints. Here's something that we're doing to try to fix it and make it better. And so that was definitely positive. That I take away from it immediately.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think we can probably talk about potentially how it's going to be formatted and how it could potentially play out. So.
Right.
Rex, what are your thoughts about how the format could potentially
from
work?
what I'm understanding, based on the tournament, you're gonna get points for I guess how far you get in the tournament.
Yeah, the placing in the weekend tournaments.
Right, exactly, and that's gonna benefit you in some way. And I'm hoping those points go towards the playoffs. So only the top 6 teams, consistently top 6 teams, are put into playoffs, and that's how I would like to see it, but they're not very clear on how that's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, my original thought... So, again, the other thing I guess that we forgot to mention is that they changed the schedule for the opening kickoff tournament, and they completely rescheduled so now that every team is playing at the tournament, and each team is playing 2 matches. So there'll be 24 matches happening on the main stage for the Call of Duty League in Minneapolis on January 24th, and on that weekend. And they changed some of the matches and made some like really juicy matchups happen that weekend, like Empire versus FaZe and Empire versus the Huntsman are probably like 2 highlights of the weekend when it comes to matches that everyone's really looking forward to seeing. And I that's kind of those changes combined were why I was really optimistic about the future of the league and how they might be more receptive to that. But they're really muddied on how it's going to work from here on out. And I think based off our interpretations, like it seems like they're going to use the opening weekend to seed the teams moving forward in some way or another, but it's pretty muddy on how that'll actually seed them.
Yeah, which seems kind of weird, you know, like when you have, if a team isn't playing Empire or Huntsman, you think that they have an easy seeding, right? Because
if you end up playing, you know, Paris or whoever it is.
Yeah, so is it going to be fair? I mean, I don't know. Again, we don't even know if they are going to use it to seed, but if they do, it seems kind of weird, you know, like where you have Empire playing FaZe and Huntsman while you could, like, you know, like you just said, someone could be playing LA, OpTic, I guess, and Paris, right?
Whatever it is, I mean, someone's getting easier matchups than somebody else. And so we don't really know like if it's going to be a single elimination style tournament. Is it going to be double elimination? Is there going to be a pool play and then tournament? Like I talked about this in one of my recent videos, but like, we don't really. That's what they haven't specified yet, and so I'm hoping there's definitely like a what we think's going to happen versus like a what we hope will happen argument. It seems like it's going to be, if I had to guess based off how they've worded it, I think it's going to be like a double elimination 8-team tournament. Each weekend.
I don't know if we want to get into it yet, you know, but then you go into, okay, well then what is the AM scene? What are the challenger teams going to like? Are they going to be a part of this bracket too? Or are they going to have their own separate bracket? Yeah. Because I think personally, what I would love to see is, which again, I don't know how you implement it, but having the challenger teams be able to compete in the bracket each weekend, right? Because then
that's what you want?
Yeah. Because then you get the possibility that one of the AM teams are going to come on top, which, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just think the scheduling doesn't make sense for that. I mean, that's how all old COD tournaments were, where, you know, you finish the open bracket.
That's how it's been that's
up until Black Ops 4.
Yeah, that's how it's always been.
Yeah, I guess, but what's the point of making these franchises, I feel like?
No, that's the thing. That's
if you're including the amateurs with it, it's like, well, then this is just what it was before. Yeah.
I guess
like there's nothing special about it.
Right. That's why he's saying that's what he wanted. It's not probably logical.
I mean, you know, there is still.
I like that they've gone further with this and franchise and like set it apart from just like regular amateurs playing all against each other. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think reasonably it's gonna be.
I like how there's a separation there.
Oh yeah.
Personally.
Because you could make it like the same thing, right? Where like you know you have 64 challenger teams, but then like the top 4 only get to make it into the bracket. But I get what you're saying.
I mean, what do you guys think is more likely, double elimination or like some type of like pool play then single elimination? Like, let's say there's a pool play option then single elimination tournament versus starting off with a seeded from previous pro point, you know, then double elimination. Like, what do you think is more likely in that scenario?
If they have a pool play, I can see it just being single elimination. Like.
Because then everyone's still playing at least 2 matches.
Yeah, because that followed very closely to what, I don't know how many people watch the Gears of War scene, but their recent San Diego event was a pool play, then just single elimination, and if you lost, you're done. So, it seemed to work out pretty well. Like,
how did the pool play work? Did all teams get seeded after it, or did you have to get top 2?
Yeah, all teams got seeded after it, and then if you lost in the bracket, then you're just done. Which, you know, I can see.
I'm down.
Yeah, because it still created like a pretty fun environment, but I can see it, you know, kind of being sucky if you have a bad game and then you're just out.
Yeah,
right?
The biggest thing is that some of these events are only 2 days long, so like you only have 2 days to complete it. Yeah. If they're only Saturday and Sunday events, so like it's hard to imagine that many games being played, especially if you're only trying to do it on one station, which we don't know if they're going to do it on just alpha, or they're going to be trying to do it on an alpha plus a bravo in a tournament setting, or like, will every game be streamed if it's a tournament? Like, these are all questions that we really don't have answers to yet, and it'd be nice to have answers to, considering the tournament, like, considering the season starts in 3.5 weeks, but I'm if I had to guess, I would guess it'd be double elimination based off pro points.
Probably.
That's what I think it's going to be too.
Because even say, like, at least for the challengers, the first event is based off your Black Ops 4 game battles.
Well, yeah, that was the
points,
first
right?
2K of the year.
Oh, that was the first 2K. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they were gonna follow.
But
that
it's
with
all the open brackets are seeded by your challenger points.
Yeah. So,
Right. Can we talk about the points for a second too?
Yeah.
Are you
So,
you're
like-
talking about like season long?
Yeah, so here's what it says on their website. At the end of the regular season, the top 8 ranked teams, including 4 wild card spots, will advance to the playoffs. What is that? What is
It's-
4? There's
oh,
only
it's-
12 teams in the whole league. What are 4 wild card spots?
See, I don't know. It either means that there's weird, they worded it like just really weird, and like 8 teams make playoffs, the top 4 plus 4 wild cards,
Plus 4 wild cards. Yeah.
or the wild card teams,
Oh,
or
I see.
but that doesn't make sense at all with how they worded it.
Yeah, so it just doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense if you like say that there's 8 teams.
Or they're like talking about like there's like an overall pro points ladder, and like teams at the end of the year, teams could in theory make it.
Mm-hmm.
But what points are they using to get in there? Are the
That's
pro
what I'm saying,
points
like,
different
yeah,
from the challenger
challenger
points, or are they all the same thing?
Again, it's so murky. It's so annoying. If I had to guess, I would guess they worded it weird, and it's 8 teams make the playoffs, and then the top 6 teams make the champs, which is like the final weekend. I think there's 2 weekends there. Because how they word it is like there's a playoffs, and then there's like champs weekend.
Yes.
Which I think is how Overwatch did it.
Well, yeah, during the championship weekend, it's just the final 6 playoffs teams.
So I'm assuming it's going to be similar to Overwatch.
Oh.
How does Overwatch do it? How do you qualify in Overwatch?
See, the Overwatch doesn't have like the tournament standings or like the point system or anything. It's just season
off
games.
record?
It's just based on record. So it's pretty
Okay.
easy to distinguish
that's
who's
what it was
consistently been
before.
good and who has.
Yeah. So that's what it started out as, but then
That's what it
they
started
changed
out
it.
as, but now they've gone this whole route where it's like confusing. So
Oh,
you
wow,
think
that
all
kind
the
of thing.
points, like the pro points and champs point or challenger points, should be the same thing then?
I don't know.
See, but I don't know how you award them for
Yeah.
them to be even.
Because see, the thing is like you might have more
Opportunities
to earn points in the challenger side of things.
Yeah, like
Then
how
how do you
much do you
balance it?
weight a pro game versus an amateur game? Like how much point weightage do you
Yeah,
give
no,
to
that's
it?
why it doesn't make sense for there to be AMs in the champs.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're not 12 teams going to
Yeah.
champs. I don't know
That's
how that
just
makes
all
sense.
the teams. Like it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
No.
Why would they
Yeah,
distinguish it like that?
Yeah. I don't know if they're intentionally being this weird about it or if they're just not coming across.
Whether it's just a typo.
Yeah, or something. But yeah,
I feel like they don't even have it fully fleshed out.
doesn't seem like it. Like, considering that they just changed this whole
Yeah.
format.
Again, in my
Yeah.
ideal world, there would be a 12-team tournament almost every weekend.
Yeah.
And it would be like single elim.
Mhm.
And it'd be sick.
Well, that's
And
what
then-
I mean. Yeah. Go ahead.
And that would be sick. I mean, again, it would really screw the teams that were like bad. Like if you were bad, then you're always playing the best team every single week.
Yeah.
But single eliminations where COD is so like esports in general is
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah.
double elim kind of eliminates some of the glory of winning.
It
Yeah.
also would have been kind of cool to see. Again, I don't even know how this worked, but you keep those league play matches, but then like maybe you do an open tournament.
Kind of like last year.
That's what
Kinda like
challenges
last year,
is it not?
Well, no, but he's saying like there's an open tournament plus the matches. Like
Yeah,
kinda
So
what they
the
had in
pros would
past.
play in the matches and the open.
Yeah,
like what they did last year.
like give the teams their home advantage, right?
Mhm.
Keep the style of the open tournaments like 4 or 5 times a year, but then you give the teams the opportunity to play in their home arena. I think that would have been just fine, but I don't know.
I don't really like. This is why I liked the format before, because you understood how it was gonna work.
Well, I mean, it was definitely more it made more sense.
It
but I
makes
just think
sense,
The
and it
matches
seems-
just didn't have much weight at all.
It
and, like,
seems competitive to me, at least,
Yeah.
the way they had
But
it
I just
set
think
up.
the average COD viewer lives for tournaments.
Mhm.
Like the average COD viewer expects to see tournaments.
Right, tournaments
throughout
are more
the year.
exciting, but
Yeah.
it's a balance of like what's competitive, what's not. How do you if you're gonna legitimize this? There
Yeah, how
needs
do you
to
give
be
a fair
more rules
opportunity?
guiding who's gonna be the best and who there's those types of things.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
True.
it's gonna be like World War II, and evil genius is just gonna randomly come up winning. And it's like, Well, they weren't good all year. They just were good today for some reason.
Yeah.
Which is like,
no, for sure.
Tournament format, that's great, but it's like,
I mean, that's
we
a real
see
problem.
the
I mean, I
consistently
agree.
best teams there.
Yeah.
At least for me, I do.
I totally agree. It'll probably be like a double elim tournament, and I think that's probably where we'll end up with it.
Yeah.
But like, how do you feel? Okay, let's just stick with that. Let's assume it's a double elim tournament based off of the current pro point standings.
Mm-hmm.
So if those 8 teams are there, the team that's in last place, let's just say for this example, it's Paris.
Yeah.
Is in last place, so now they're playing Empire in the first tournament of the year. So then now they're automatically knocked down to losers.
Yeah.
Now they have to fight through losers. Like,
and then they have to repeat it the next tournament.
Yeah, but then that's the thing.
The next tournament, so it's like we're still last, they're still first, and we're screwed again.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
that's why I don't like this.
Throughout the whole year, we're just going to be seeing Empire versus Paris. Could you get stuck with that same matchup over and over? But maybe that's why not all 8 teams are there, or not all 12 teams are there.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, I'm assuming that only having 8 teams there will
change up the matchup.
Force a change matchup.
That makes sense.
Which then would make sense where it's okay, we're not going to just be seeing
the same seeded
Empire
tournament
versus,
every single weekend.
So that might help things too, which might make it better. But
yeah, because I mean that's why like there were some years in the past where like there was so many tournaments where you just see the same. It was literally the same seeded. Like when OpTic was so good and they were winning basically every tournament back in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 and IW. Like the amount of times that we saw OpTic play the same teams because it was seeded very similarly because tournaments happen so often. That was definitely a potential issue. I think maybe that makes sense then why it's how, because that was my original question was like, okay, well if it's tournaments, then why isn't all 12 teams there every weekend?
Yeah.
But I guess that is the counter argument for that, which is definitely interesting. A good perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if this this part could be a problem, but I know one thing with like the CS:GO community, right? Like one of their big problems is an overabundance of tournaments. Are we going to start seeing people not view certain tournaments just because there's one every single weekend now? Do we skip some tournaments now because Empire and Huntsman aren't going to be there? Do we not watch that tournament?
Because it doesn't feel valid.
Right?
Well, unless they understand the point system, so it's like people are being ranked. Like each tournament's important. It's not like each tournament's a fresh start. If that makes sense.
What if there is a world where Empire is just far and away the best team all year long, and it's like in the events where they're not there,
the viewership just plummets.
Like, does it feel like a real tournament?
Yeah.
At all? Like like it feels like just free points for whoever wins.
Yeah, whoever wins has an easy way of getting there. If I don't know how they're gonna do it, like where they require a top 4 team to be there at all times. Like you can't have Empire, Huntsman, FaZe in Seattle not be there, right? I don't know if they're gonna force that.
But I think they really can't enforce that.
You can't enforce that because
they've already said
every team has to have a bye week, right?
But, so I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting argument because when the best team's not there, does it feel like a valid tournament?
Yeah.
And will it be interesting at all?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, then that tournament is like a must-win tournament.
Yes.
For the number 2 and 3 teams, and that makes it that is another way to make it interesting where it'll switch up seedings of future tournaments because certain teams aren't there to earn points.
Mm-hmm.
Do they win money for winning these tournaments, or are these just for points tournaments if they're pros?
That's the thing.
I know challengers get money, but do the pros?
I don't think so.
So they're all fighting for points just to establish a higher rank or not.
Yeah, but so another question is, are all the teams on a similar rotation? Or do some teams play more tournaments earlier in the year and less at the end? So could they rack up more points earlier in the year that have better seeds just because they played more? Or how does that work?
I would assume they would try to even it out, but I could see
if there's some unbalance.
Teams, yeah. Because I don't know how. I'm hoping and thinking that they've thought everything through. Looked ahead.
Whoa.
Maybe.
Whoa.
I know it's a big ask right now.
Calm down.
I would assume.
Don't ask too much of them.
Yeah. I would assume that was true, but who knows what we're going to get. We could potentially see imbalances where a team is racking up points early on while some teams don't have a chance to.
If it's just one more tournament than another team,
it's a big
deal.
deal.
That's going to completely change where you're seated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if one team's played 3 tournaments and then another team's only played 2, at some point that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So how does that work with Pro Point, like rankings and seedings?
Mm-hmm.
So then maybe it's not based off Pro Point seedings, because then that would be completely unfair.
Yeah.
So maybe it is. Maybe there are pool plays.
There has to be. I think there's got to be pool plays to make it somewhat more fair.
You would think so, yeah.
But even the pool plays are like random. Maybe they make what their league schedule was going to be the pool play, like the pools. If that makes sense.
So you think but it's tournament style though, so there has to be a tournament somewhere.
Right. So like after the pools, then you go into the tournament with whatever your standing was.
So
like,
then maybe pool play.
The
then
pools
single
aren't going to be
elimination.
random, is what I'm saying.
Okay. And then a pool play single elimination tournament.
Right. And that will establish like more points for you or whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that.
Because I feel like the seeding is really unfair if you go off pro points, because there's going to be instances where some team has played an extra tournament.
Yeah.
So maybe you have to go off pool play.
Yeah.
So
pool
they're
play is
set up.
not going to be random, because like if somebody gets unlucky and has to play Empire, 3 times.
Yeah, 3 events in a row in their pool.
Yeah, it's like what I didn't even get out of pools because Empire's
Oh,
always
that's
dominating.
interesting. So maybe set pool plays, so you know who's going to be in each pool every time.
So each week it's just like they've already set up the matches beforehand. You play them as a pool,
and then play in a single elimination tournament.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I could be behind that.
So at least you can prepare for your pool and like try and guarantee your spot into a tournament, and then go from there.
Yeah, because then that would completely eliminate the unfairness of if a team is playing.
That's a big problem if there's an unfair, if it's based off pro point seedings for every tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
That's a good idea. Yeah, and hopefully that they do.
All right, that's my new. I hope that's what it is, because I'm down for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be really exciting. So I think that would get me really excited. I think that's
it'd
what
be
it is.
a lot better.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, because then you're right too. That not only is that good for the viewers, but then it's also good for the teams to be able to prepare and for the pool play.
It feels more fair.
Because if they just show up like, or
like you don't know until the week before, and then now which
then also solidifies the role of coaches too, being able to get VODs and stuff, right?
Yeah, and then bye weeks would be more important because then you can prepare for the upcoming week. So I could see that.
Yeah, I think that would be great all around. Honestly.
So hopefully, we don't know when they're going to announce this. You'd assume they'd announce it before the first tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You assume.
You think so.
But at the same time, they don't necessarily have to, considering the first event's not until early January.
Yeah.
Or early February.
Yeah.
And
the first tournament, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the first homestand.
Yeah.
So so we're gonna have to just wait that on out, and that'll be a really fun conversation when they actually do announce that about how that could potentially play out. But yeah, so do you think any team would be specifically helped? Like, do you think there's any team that like potentially could be helped by a tournament style? I guess it kind of depends how it's formatted. In a pool play system, it definitely helps the good teams.
Yeah.
So
I think the bad teams would be helped by it because like then they could just randomly show up that day,
Or if the good teams aren't there, then
like if
the good teams aren't there, like they could,
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because again, I feel terrible. I keep using Paris, but if
there's just low expectations. They have an easy bar to pass. All right.
If Paris shows up and they get seeded, randomly against a team, they show up, they win their pool play matches. Well, then that sets them up for a good bracket, then, right? So yeah, I think it could potentially help these bad teams win more tournaments.
No, that's really interesting.
Than they would if you went off of the pro points. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't like it. It sketches me out. I know tournaments are hype, but
with 8 teams there, I'm assuming it's going to be pool play, and then everyone qualifies for the bracket, and then you play single elimination.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd have time for pool play plus double elimination in like a 2-day event.
Especially if it's only 2 days. Yeah.
It would be pushing the limit for how much they could actually do.
And maybe they're actually not going to do a pool play at all, and they're just going to do by the seed. And if that's the case, bad teams are going to be screwed.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yeah, that screws bad teams.
They would never be.
Which is sad. I don't think that should happen either.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's an interesting opportunity, and in my mind, it's so pro viewer, which is like at the end of the day, the CoD League has to be pro viewer.
Yeah.
and it needs to be separated and unique from other esports in my mind. So like, I think it's nice that it separates itself from Overwatch in a way where like we have the tournaments, and it's kind of the COD thing to have these tournaments like that. So that'd be cool. I'm down for it. I'm personally really excited for it, and like looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Hopefully we get an announcement sooner than later. Yeah. But
hopefully.
Yeah. With that said, I think we can transition to our second segment, which kind of leads into our third segment. So again, like we kind of hinted at it. Originally that our third segment is a super team draft for the future COD games. So we're going to be drafting a dynasty team for the upcoming 5 years of Call of Duty, and trying to draft a team that can adapt and be good for the next 5 years. But before we get into that conversation, we wanted to talk about what could the next 5 years of COD look like, and what direction you think the developers might take the game, and how the future of COD could potentially be shaped. I'm thinking about this 5 years ago in 2014. We were coming off of COD Ghosts, going right into Advanced Warfare, like in this, like right around this time. Advanced Warfare would have came out a month ago. So who would have thought that we would have had an Infinite Warfare, and then or Black Ops 3, then an Infinite Warfare, then a COD World War II, and now we're sitting in a Modern Warfare. So
back to start.
Who knows where COD could be in 5 years? But I think it's a pretty fun conversation. So what do you think?
You went through this period, right, where we had jetpacks, and people liked it initially, but then it just got tanked, right? So, are we going to see 5 years of boots on the ground? I would assume so. I don't know, anyone. Man. I don't know if developers are willing to take that risk of being pooped on for going
by the COD community.
By the COD community, but I mean, we can't just see the same game 5 years in a row, can we? Or do we see? I don't know.
Do we see another Black Ops 3?
Do we see another Black Ops 3? Do we see another Black Ops 4 with boots on the ground, but there's some advanced
movement type things? Yeah, I mean,
I think that's gonna happen.
I think you see it from like a perspective of like the developer's perspective, where they have to look at it. I mean, they have to decide on this, 2-3 years in advance. Yeah. The weird thing for next year is like it's a Black Ops or it's a Treyarch game.
Treyarch game that got pushed up a year.
Or like Sledgehammer handed off their project to Treyarch.
It might not even be Treyarch's own.
So it might actually be Sledgehammer's EP.
Yeah. Oh man.
So we have no clue what we're getting next year, and I mean, if I had to guess, it's either going to be like a Vietnam late 1900s game, or it's going to be like another modern warfare type game. But then after that, it could be anything. Yeah. We could be back to shooting lasers, or we could go back to the Civil War. Yeah. I have no idea. I have no clue what could happen. They're walking in straight lines, dude. That'd be hilarious.
Do we ever see a single Call of Duty game for more than a year?
Oh, interesting. Do you think in the next 5 years, do we see a game played for 2 years in a row or more?
Do we come to the point where there
is Call of Duty?
People are tired of Call of Duty every single year, and it's just Call of Duty.
I think that'll happen.
Overwatch.
It's bound to happen, I think, at some point, right?
You look at the popular games, right? The games that have lasted. CS:GO, what is it? 10 years now. It's been the same. There may have been more renditions. I don't know, but
yeah. I guess one thing that's interesting that I guess it's kind of an angle I haven't really thought about with Call of Duty League is just the fact that there is a Call of Duty League is Activision committing to making Call of Duty for at least the foreseeable future, like probably 5 to 10 years at least. Yeah. And so that's interesting. Yeah. Like at some point, does Activision see the Fortnite model that's worked so well, or they've seen the success of CS:GO and Overwatch? But the ironic thing is that Overwatch now is having Overwatch 2, right? So like,
but it's the same game. It's
the same game.
The multiplayers are playing together. It's basically just adding story to it. Like it's just gonna be like there's gonna be like a story mode. I think in Overwatch 2, and that's it's just a DLC basically.
Do you think the COD fans would like that, or do you think there'd be outrage about not having?
Well,
they'll like it if the COD's good.
True. And I think it would probably be a situation where like there might be a world where once they hit a home run on the gameplay aspect, and then people are like, wow, we love this gameplay.
Let's keep this gameplay.
Then Activision might just say, well, screw it. This is Call of Duty.
Yeah, this is Call of Duty.
and then they just kind of cancel everything else, and they just maintain that game and add in new things, and it's like a season's pass situation with
new
Fortnite.
guns, new maps,
like, or Minecraft. Like, will there ever be another Minecraft? Probably not. Will there ever be another Fortnite? Maybe not. So, yeah, I there's definitely a world where that's potentially an option, but I don't know if it's in the next 5 years.
No, yeah, because the problem, again, I know we've hit on it before, is Call of Duty is so controlled by shareholders, right? It's a cash cow.
Until
it's guaranteed
Activision
revenue.
Has another game that does just as good or similar to COD, I don't think they're gonna like abandon the year-to-year COD revenue that it brings in.
I think it's too much of a risk to them, like
to go all in on one game.
To go all in, right? But
yeah,
I think you'd have the hardcore Call of Duty fans actually really enjoy that after seeing every other game become popular and greater than Call of Duty is just a single game model with DLC added. But
it's definitely the future of gaming in some way, like subscription based gaming, like whether that's seasons passes that are subscription based or whatever it is.
Battle passes.
Yeah, battle passes. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine a game that's like, it's hard to imagine we're getting like an Infinite Warfare ever again.
Nah, if they make a standalone like COD, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be good, I think. Like they're gonna put a lot of time.
It'll be like a COD mobile, like that. It's like it's
Call of Duty. If they ever release a Call of Duty, it would be like COD mobile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it's encompassing every era of COD and a lot of the guns, and a lot of the maps, and I mean, I'm down for it at some point as a COD fan. Like,
but I think a lot of new maps too. Like, I think it'll be like a massive game.
Yeah. Oh, it would be massive,
huge.
And it might take them years to develop.
Got a battle royale too. I'm sure
a battle royale, and then room for way more game modes that they invent in the future. So, like, yeah, I agree. I think the future of COD is really unpredictable. I would assume it's going to be a boots on the ground game next year. Yeah. But after that, it could potentially be anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because then that'd be a full 3-year cycle, right? World War II, Modern Warfare.
Do we know if Sledgehammer's coming out with another game ever again? I don't know.
It might just be back to 2, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is weird.
But I mean, it worked for a while there, right? Because
it seems impossible that one studio could do that, though. At this point, with how gaming is, a 2-year cycle,
and we're already seeing like Modern Warfare had 3 years, and they didn't even get a rank play out, and they still hasn't got a rank play out. Or half
the game was broken, the spawns were broken. So yeah, it's hard to imagine an era where COD's like doing it again with 2s. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that was kind of the conversation we needed to have before heading into this draft.
Yes.
We're actually drafting a team built around what we think might be the future of COD. But I think we can only talk short term when it comes to the games itself. I don't expect. I mean, if you look back 5 years, I mean, it was still Call of Duty, and it's still Call of Duty. Modern Warfare is very comparable to Ghosts. I mean, I'd assume that
COD. Yeah,
COD's COD. So at the end of the day, the teams that we're drafting should be pretty interesting. I'm excited to get into this. We're doing 6 rounds, so we're gonna draft 5 starters, assuming that COD will be 5v5 for the foreseeable future, which is definitely in question. I mean, who knows?
I like it 5v5. I'm gonna change it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And then we'll do 1 sub.
Yeah.
So with that said, I think we can get right into it. I have the first pick. So the format goes me, then Rex, then Sam, and then it's a serpentine snake style draft. So I pick once, Rex picks once, Sam picks twice, and then we go back. So that's how we're doing it. Round 1, pick 1. There's a lot on the line with this pick. So the other thing that we needed to mention real quick is that we're guaranteeing that nobody retires. Yes. Any current player we can draft, and they're guaranteed not to retire. So
for the next 5 years.
Karma, obviously, you'd probably question if Karma would play for another 5 years or Clay would play for another 5 years. But we're guaranteeing that these guys play for 5 years.
Yes.
So with that said, I'm not even going to risk that, and I'm taking Simp with the number 1 pick. Okay. I think the talent, the upside that Simp has, he's proven that he's going to be a solid player in this game. Whether or not he's the best player in this game is up to debate, but I'm going to take Simp. I think he has even upside that's untouched at this point, and he's my 101. So that said, Rex is
I think he's going to be pretty much everyone's number 1.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to go with Illy.
Oh, interesting. So you're going fully off of the never seen before in competition
he's
upside.
I think he might be the best player. Like, he's really good. And I would have taken Simp because he has that experience, and also he's really good. But
yeah,
I'm taking a. I'm
wow,
going
that's
with
crazy.
Illy.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought Sam probably would have ended up with them, or maybe second round. But you're going all in on the young guns early on. So, all right, Sam, you're on the board.
Formal.
Sam's man. Also, if you guys didn't see this, if you guys somehow didn't catch this, we played against Old Men of OpTic while Formal and Scump were playing. So it was Formal, Scump, Diesel, and Hex. Sam got turned on, and Sam was called an idiot by Formal.
Formal called me an idiot, and I will forever cherish that moment. So, thank you, Formal, for calling me an idiot. I appreciate it. All the wisdom that those words gave to me. I appreciate it.
So also in the stock, just eliminate the team or delete the player from the list. When you draft them. But yeah. All right, what's your second pick, Sam?
All right, so the second pick, I'm going to kind of go the route of Rex. I'm going to go with Shotzzy.
Whoa!
This is a kind of an out there, but I think Shotzzy has proven himself as a Halo player. I'll say as a console
player. On this Modern Warfare
absolutely.
upside.
I'm saying that he is going to be amazing in this game, then just shoot forward. He's a young gun, obviously. I think he's going to make some waves.
Wow,
so,
that is...
Yeah. So, Formal Shotzzy, first two.
This is not just like the new game. Like, Illy's he was in EU Cadets. He did really well there, too. He's got experience. He knows COD. I trust him.
Man. I mean, I think he's going to be solid, but I wouldn't have put all my chips in him early on. But I respect it. Rex, you up? You're on the board now.
I want Priesta.
Oh, wow. I can't believe my man's fell to me in the second round here. I'm hyped. Priesta, okay. I mean, I respect it. Priesta's a great player. Why Priesta?
I think because he has that experience, but I think he also keeps a level head. But he's also still like a young gun. Like he can still shoot things. He can still move well. I think that's going to continue on in the future for the next 5 years.
Wow.
And I think he has leadership potential.
That's really interesting. I mean, I really like Priesta. I would have taken him if you wouldn't have. But I think I got two pretty nice picks here lined up. My first guy is the best AR in the game, Octane.
That was a good pick.
I'm taking Octane.
Good pick.
I don't think you can go wrong with him at this point. I think he's proven the past 2 years that he's going to be a good player on basically any game. I mean, he was solid. He was really good in World War II. Yeah. He was incredible in Black Ops 4. And he's already been solid so far in scrims in this game. So I think he's going to be in good shape the next 5 years or more in the COD scene. So Octane's my first pick here in the last pick at second round. Now the first pick of the third round to be my third. This is a tough pick. There's like probably 4 or 5 guys I could easily go with here. And it'd probably be a pretty solid pick. But, oh man, this hurts. I know most of the guys who I don't pick here are not going to get back to me. But I'm going to go with Gunless.
That's what I was going to do.
That's a good one.
Man, there's like 5 or 6 guys that I could have definitely taken here. But I'm not going to worry too much about roles, considering we're going like off of 5 years of COD. I mean, you know, guys who are, maybe you're a sub if you're a sub, but most of these guys can play flex. They can play. Yeah. So I'm not going to worry too much about roles as long as I'm not snagging 5-man ARs. Yeah. So Gunless is my third pick. Wow, there were so many guys that I wanted there, though. This is actually really exciting. I'm actually pretty pumped about this draft. But all right, Rex, you're back on the board.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with Apathy.
Oh, interesting. Why?
It was a tough choice. He has a lot of experience. He's won champs before. I think he brings a good personality to the team, and he can mesh with a lot of people. I wanted to find somebody who could be like, he knows how to win. But I decided to go someone who's going to bring good vibes, and I think it's going to be a solid solution to the team right now.
Yeah, 1 second. I will edit this out. But on our list, we don't have the Huntsman. Or...
We do.
What?
Very left and bottom.
Oh, frick. It was getting cut off, and I had it half screen for a second. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Did you delete Gunless? Okay, sorry. we're hopping back into it now. Did you finish your thought there, Rex?
Yeah, I finished.
Okay, cool.
Good guy, knows how to win. Can match with anybody.
So yeah, all right, Sam. Well, that puts you back on the board. So right now, Rex is sitting at Illy, Priesta, and Apathy. I'm sitting at Simp, Octane, and Gunless. Sam's sitting at Formal, Shotzzy, and these picks coming up.
Arcides.
Oh, Arcides.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Off the board.
It's a really good pick.
Arcides, honestly, he's proven himself to be a champion. You know, he's been really good in Infinite Warfare, World War II, and now Black Ops 4. Those are some pretty different game types, right? I just think he's a really good player, honestly. Like, there's not much more you need to say about Arcides.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the guys who I wanted to take there.
Yeah, he's just fantastic.
Well, who's your next guy then?
Next guy.
Because now you're going for your fourth pick there.
See, I'm having a hard time between balancing the established older pros
with the new ones.
With
yeah,
the new ones.
Same. It is not easy.
If I'm going off of, I'm guaranteeing that they don't retire in 5 years. I'm gonna go with Karma.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know, because in true life, I think he's gonna retire. In the next 5 years. However,
100%.
3 Rings Karma, he has proven himself.
So many more chances to get rings, and it's five more years for him here.
So I'm gonna say that his old prowess is gonna carry him through. So,
yeah. Wow. All right, Karma off the board.
There you go.
Rex, who you got now with your fourth pick?
So here's my thought process right now. I need somebody who has that hunger to win. Somebody who can
100%.
really motivate the team.
I know.
And that's who I wanted Gunless for. That was going to be his job.
Okay.
But I took him. So I'm at a stopping point.
Censor.
No. I think
he's got the appetite.
It's gonna be Glacier.
I'm going to take Crim6.
Oh.
Okay. I like it. Over
Glacier? Will he never forgive and never forget?
Yeah, over Glacier. Glacier,
wow,
he's good, he's a veteran, but he doesn't have, I don't think he's the big motivator.
Remember, JCap tried to drop Glacier last year.
He did indeed. JCap.
Don't forget, all right? Don't forget.
I forgot about that drama. That was weird.
That was a crazy drama. It's because I'm working on my video for tomorrow, and so that's why I was thinking about it. But
yeah, that was weird. That was a weird time.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Rex. So Rex's team now is sitting at Illy, Priesta, Apathy, and Crim6. Sam's at Formal, Shotzzy, Arcides, and Karma. And they've got 2 picks left. I've now got 3 picks left. I'm sitting at Simp, Octane, and Gunless. And man, there are so many players that I want to take here. I think we're not really thinking about chemistry that much, right? Like,
yeah,
it's hard to balance.
It's hard to tell too.
And you can only kind of guess on how guys are gonna play together. I mean, there's a few guys that you probably don't want JCap and Clay on the same team at this point.
Clay, no.
You know, there's a few other guys you probably don't want on the same team. You probably don't want Crim and
is somebody picking JCap?
You probably don't want Crim and Tej on the same team, or Crim and
Dashy
on the same team.
Yeah.
At this point. And that's one player that I can't believe hasn't been picked yet.
That is true.
Is Dashy. And that's why I am taking Dashy. So I'm now sitting at Simp, Octane, Gunless, and Dashy. I got some firepower on this team.
Yeah.
So I'm rounding out my quote-unquote starting lineup here. And man, oh my gosh, there's so many guys who I want to take. There's 3 guys who I can't believe are still on the board. And I want them all real bad, but I'm limited. And I'm going to take Scump. Rounding out my starting lineup of Simp, Octane, Gunless, Dashy, and Scump. Pretty nice squad, I think. And
that's a good one.
My turn?
That puts you guys up on the board. Yeah.
I have some things to say to you, Josh.
Okay.
1, you're a hype beast. All you do is try and take the hypest players when clearly your team is full of hotheads. And they're all going to bicker and fight with each other and tear each other apart, and the vibes are going to be atrocious.
Man, he is ripping.
I wouldn't.
That's why I was saying
I wasn't
Gunless
and Dashy
considering.
decide to stop talking to each other.
Well, good. I'll have a fire sub. He can get benched like he did last year.
Yeah, your sub will solve all the problem. Okay.
100%. So, with that said, who's your team?
All right. So for my fifth and final pick,
Well,
I'm going, or I guess my fifth pick, I'm picking God RX.
Oh my!
Oh, you're going out there, aren't you?
Really?
It's not going out. The God RX he is a great player who I believe is undervalued, and I think he will bring a lot to the team. And I think he'll come out as a star.
There are like 3 guys who I cannot believe haven't been picked yet. I'm so sad.
You pick Scott.
God RX though. All right.
Yeah, incredibly
That's
underrated
crazy.
player.
Well, Sam, you have some juicy picks here.
I know.
Who are you feeling?
Oh man. Do I continue? Well, first, how has Embo's not been picked yet?
That is amen, man. It's a tragedy that Mbos hasn't been picked yet.
Okay. So we're not.
Should we add a 7th round? Because I really want to add. Let's do 2 subs.
Sure.
Like they have to have 2 subs. So let's have to have 2 subs. I'm having a good time.
I'm gonna go with Kenny.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, Kenny. I like it.
I think. Well, I still consider him a young gun, right? But
yeah.
He had a fantastic World War II season. Black Ops 4. He was fantastic. I haven't really seen. I guess I don't really know how he's performing.
OpTic.
now.
Yeah. I mean, they're on and off.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe Shotzi and Kenny. I got my young guns. I got Formal Karma as the kind of the teachers of the group. RC is obviously just a god in
I like
and
it
of itself.
Yeah,
So
he was
then-
one of the guys who I thought definitely deserved to get picked.
No, RCDs is a great choice.
Yeah,
Great choice.
RCD's 100% is one up there too.
So then I'm picking my first sub right next.
Yep. Now you got your first sub. We're doing 7, so you have the last pick now.
Oh,
2.
yes. Wow.
There's a handful of guys.
I know. There's some guys that would be really good. I'm going to
man.
actually. I haven't seen performance from him yet. This could be throwing it out there, but I'm picking Dylan.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Dylan.
He was definitely on my list of guys that had to get picked.
Dylan. Again, I haven't seen much from EU guys in scrims. Or
Right.
anything.
I mean, they've been kind of MIA, but
But if I'm going off Black Ops 4, Dylan was an animal. He was so good. He popped off at the end there. Yeah, I think he'd be fantastic. So
he has tons of upside too. He's young. I like it a lot.
Yeah, Dylan.
So now Sam's team sitting at Formal, Shotzi, Arcides, Karma, Kenny, and Dylan. Wait, Rex, who is your 5th? You didn't have it typed into the sheet.
Yeah, it's in there. Oh, I have to exit out. There it is.
Oh, there you go.
There it
Illy,
is.
Priesta, Apathy, Crim6, and God RX. And here comes Rex with his 6th pick. Who we got?
A beast.
Oh, I was hoping to snag a Beezy.
No, I think
But
Abiz is good.
nice.
He could turn into a starter depending on how things go.
I would say so.
I have only one
Especially-
concern with my team. It's that
Yeah?
it's the drive and the fire in your heart that I'm not
You're
sure,
not sure if it's
is
there?
gonna be there. Like I need some people who are gonna be screaming at lands.
I feel like if you got Crim 6 and Apathy,
You'll be fine.
Apathy's too nice.
Apathy's chill. Crim is the only one that's going to really be like the driver on that team, though.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Everyone else is real chill. God
Except
RX,
for Illy.
Apathy.
I think Illy it can be a
Priesta.
driver.
I can see it.
So that's
Illy
what.
But right now, he's
Illy's
kind of like
too much of a
listening to the
wild
older
card in
guys.
that respect. So that's my only fear with my team right now.
And Abizi's a young guy too, though, so you're kind of risking these things.
I am.
All
but
right,
Abizi's
so-
really good and hard to pass up.
There's still like 4 guys. I'm like, I want to pick so bad. Wow. So I get my last 2 picks here. So my team's still currently sitting at Simp, Octane, Gunless, Dashy, and Scump.
Yeah.
So I'm picking both my quote unquote substitutes here, but my goodness, they could both definitely be starters on any team. I mean, one guy who's one of the most winningest players in COD history that I have to take here is Slasher.
Yeah.
I was gonna take.
I can't
Slasher,
believe
too.
he hasn't been taken yet. To be honest.
I almost took him that round, my last round.
Yeah.
it was between him and.
And I mean, he had to have been taken. I can't believe he's here in the 6th round.
Yeah.
So to pair him, I don't know how my starting lineup's gonna work. We're picking guys who, I mean, Slasher. another guy who could really throw off the chemistry on my team here.
Yeah.
But
Our team's gonna hate each other. They're gonna rip
Slasher
each
and
other's
Gunless.
throats out.
But yeah, this team, hey, it's got talent. That's all that really matters. I think we're gonna add another guy who's another vibes guy who I think can get along with basically anyone, and that is Attach. We're adding Attach here. He's been good literally for years, and he was so underrated on Black Ops 4. One of the best players on that game, and I think he's gonna be really good in this game too and in the future. So my final lineup here is Simp, Octane, Gunless, Dashy, Scump, Slasher, and Attach to round out my squad. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
That's pretty
I like
nasty.
it. So Rex, Sam, you guys got your last picks here. Rex, who you got?
Okay, so I've been having to think a lot about this. I need some firepower, but just don't know who can give me that firepower.
I know who it would be, but I think I kind of want him.
I think
I love it.
I'm going to go with...
Maniac.
No. This is really hard.
Wow.
I think I'm going to go... I got to go with Clayster, I think.
Okay.
Nice. I mean, you got Illy, Crim, and Clay. So you got 3 of the Empire guys.
Well, there's a reason they're the top team.
Yeah. I don't disagree. But wow. All right, so that wraps out Rex's roster of Illy, Priesta, Apathy, Crim6, Abizi, and Clayster. So he's kind of got that old guy, young guy combo going on with his squad. Pairing Apathy, Crim, and Clay with Illy. I guess you could say Priesta and Abizi. So, all right, Sam, you're on the board with the final pick, quote unquote, Mr. Irrelevant of this draft. Sam sitting at Formal, Shotzi, Arcides, Karma, Kenny, Dylan, and
I think this guy is long overdue for a chip. I think he is so talented.
Don't you say J-Cap, dude.
I'm not going to say J-Cap. Temp.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Okay. No, I respect it. I respect it. I thought about him.
Really?
I think he is overdue for a chip, and I also think that he will bring that fire.
You're right.
He wants it.
There's so many guys that could have been drafted, though. Oh, my goodness. Like, the fact that, we didn't draft Scraps.
I know. Or
Zuma, or Hook, or Enable, or, Brack, or TJ, or... Oh, my goodness. There's so many good players on the board still.
I know.
Shoot. I feel so bad not drafting most of these guys. They definitely deserve to be... We only had 21 picks, so you can only pick 21 players.
Yeah.
I mean... We're going to put up a poll. I don't know if they'll all fit in a tweet. Somehow we'll make it work. But we'll put up a poll.
You can do the poll with a picture?
Yeah, we'll do a poll with pictures, something like that on Twitter. SalvationsElite, I'll put it up when this pod, maybe within 24 hours after this pod goes up. So be on the lookout for that. You guys can vote for the team that you think is the most dominant and will be the best in the upcoming 5 years of Call of Duty. So, well, we hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I think there's a lot of interesting, fun conversations, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, comment, subscribe on YouTube, leave a review on iTunes. We really do appreciate that. Or Apple Podcasts, we really appreciate that. And we will see you in... I don't know what Sam's doing over here. If you guys are on YouTube, this might get demonetized. I'm not sure what happened over here. Oh, my word, what I just witnessed. Shoot. You're actually going to go back and watch the VODs, dude. Get this, because this is something
Are we
else.
done recording now?
No, we're not done yet.
Okay.
But as always, guys, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the next episode. We're out.